All right, so I recently caught up with the guys from the Unlikely Candidates, alternative rock band out of Northeast Texas, and you're going to see that we had a little bit of a technical issue to start this thing out. It's the first time we've done video, so we've got everything all figured out, hopefully. And all you really missed was me asking them, being at that alternative rock band from Northeast Texas, a place known for country music, blues, honky tonk. How is it they found that genre? So sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy my conversation with the unlikely candidates.
So, it kind of evolved from there. We didn't want to do like the typical country stuff because, that was something we always rebelled against. That was kind of our like parents' music and
all around us all the time.
yeah. And we like yeah, we love the music from the area. There's a lot of like blues and psychedelic blues and folk music in the area.
Okay.
Uh, and I think that we've threaded into our music. It's definitely in there, but yeah, I'd say that we always kind of had this background and desire to do all rock music.
All right. Well, alt rock is one way to describe it. How would you describe the feel of the music? What is it that makes unlikely candidates the band that you guys are?
I don't know.
I don't think we stick to like a certain genre or like we don't really have a box around like we try to write like all over the place. I guess there's no really certain sound that we're
Going
sticking for. It's just kind of
write songs we like.
Yeah, anything that like sounds good. I think this band's kind of into. So
Okay. Well, let's jump right into the song that caught my attention, Novocaine.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I mean, musically or like lyrically.
Well, let's start lyrically.
Lyrically,
What was it? What was it that just grabbed a hold of you to make that?
I mean, I think that we like everybody that we know in this area, kind of lives like paycheck to paycheck, and like I think that this is very much a person that kind of like fits that narrative, and like it's definitely the life that we all live. It's somebody that works, mostly service industry and or like a band life. It's you know, uh, spending your money as soon as you get paid because that's literally what you do when make your cash and then you go to the bar, you pay your rent, and it's just kind of about this like basically slackery kind of self-deprecating lifestyle, of not changing and kind of getting stuck in that loop, which is definitely something that I've been living for a while, so it came out pretty easily.
All right. So musically, it has a very, very unique sound to it. Where did that, is that one of those just got together, sat down, wrote it, and just developed?
We worked with some producers on that, and I think our producer Greg Wattenberg in New York, like he really has a good way of like bringing those kind of we kind of just meld all the different types of like alt rock that we're kind of into, and that we like obviously try and stay up on. We're students of the craft, so we kind of try and like thread in all the stuff that's like relevant.
Like Greg Wattenberg is really good at taking all of like the natural things with rock and roll, like an electric guitar, not a synth. He can grab that from us and like really like put it together in the best way possible, if that makes sense. Like a producer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically how it came out. It's pretty natural.
Okay. So, let's jump to Your Love Could Start a War. Let's play the same game with that. Where did that come from?
Oh, wait, what was the guy's name?
Oh yeah, well no, I found out that like it was like
yeah, no, but
yeah.
But who played the slide on that track?
There's a guy named Rudolph Randolph, I think his name is. He's like one of the best slide.
He's crazy
guitar players in the world.
Okay.
And I don't think that he came up with the riff, but like he played on it and kind of gave it this bluesy texture. and I think that kind of inspired like we had like our producer had this like lick that da, 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 like and he had it on like slide guitar, and I think that inspired us to kind of like do something that was like bluesy, but like the song doesn't seem like a blues song. It seems like a very much like an alt radio song, but we kind of threaded it throughout, and I think that slide guitar kind of provided that inspiration. But that kind of yeah, it's just like we started doing this hybrid blues song. Like the only band that I can think of that really kind of does that is like this, Kasabian. So it kind of
Okay.
turned into something like that.
All right.
As far as
So,
like thematically, for that song, like me and Brent were in New York, and we walked through like the Eric Gardner protests, and like in Times Square, and it was like I don't know. That's like the whole police brutality thing is something that I always like. It resonates with me, and I think that I try to take all that imagery of stuff that was going on in the streets that day and just kind of like thread it into this song that's like seems like a kind of like fight for power dynamic between like a couple, but really it's like that's kind of what the song was about, like the people versus like authority.
okay. So along that line, how often do you see the politics playing into your songwriting process? The events that are going on.
I try and be like pretty subversive about it because like I don't really want to be like one of those preachy bands. So like often I'll layer it inside of songs that seem like they're about something else.
Okay.
Like take all the imagery of like that political type stuff and I'll just kind of like overlay it over the type of like a song that like anybody can sing.
So much so that probably no one else knows except for you.
Yeah, what happens is like I kind of, I think it's more obvious than it is, and nobody gets it. But I've got that song "Ringer," which everybody thinks is about people getting married, but it's about being in a relationship with your drug dealer.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's interesting dynamic.
yeah.
So, what is the process then? How do you come up with this stuff? When you guys get ready to go into the studio, do you sit down beforehand and write, or do you write in the studio, or how does it work?
Yeah, like
Brent starts it off.
We all pretty much have like our own like home studios, Like we all used to like live together, but we recently like moved out of that house and stuff. But we all have like our own studios. So whenever we do go into the big studio or wherever we're going, we mostly just like have all of our tracks, whether like however it may be, we know which ones are like the best ones, and like that's just kind of like how we do it. And like Kyle will go on at like after like we're all done with everything, he's like the one like he kind of like picks what he likes from our stuff, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So the music will be there, and then I'll basically just freestyle a concept and a melody, and then just keep adding to it and putting the pieces together and taking them apart. So
And sometimes this process can last like years because like no, listen, dude, because like this song, you can like you know it's good and you know it's there, but there's always a way to make it better. So it's frustrating to just like make the song the way you want it. Like I feel like we have a bunch, maybe like hundreds of songs that are really good, but they're just not good enough. And so like, but maybe over the years we can like take parts from those and use that and incorporate it in other songs.
yeah, one of our biggest songs, like "Call My Name," was like something that Brent wrote like very very early on.
Dude, bells.
And we didn't use "Call My Name" for like 3 years. It kind of just evolved until like the timing was right for it.
Yeah. So like a good example would be "Bells." Have you heard that song "Bells" that we?
I have.
Well, like with "Bells," I wrote it when I first joined the band, Like I just had like this Beatlesy like chord progression, and then he wrote the song over that.
It's like 2015 or something.
We're
Yeah.
just like drunk at a party
Yeah.
playing, like freestyling a song
Yeah.
for people there, and
And it was, but it was like a folk song pretty much, you know. Like it was like it had the rhythm like every folk song does.
Okay.
And then we went in with what's his name? The guy
Dave Bassett.
Dave Bassett, and like he kind of made it like you know, Imagine Dragons had like just taken off, so he pretty much just like put big drums over it and took out the folk
Okay.
of writing in it, or the folk acoustic guitar. And then later on, okay, so that was a year, maybe like 2 years later after I wrote the song, and then probably about a year later after that, I redid the whole production. And then maybe a year later after that, it got mixed. And then a year later after that, we released it. So it's just like, I don't know. That's just like an example of like what pretty much happens with
Yeah.
songs.
lost in development, basically.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys were up in this part of the country in mid-July. I think you were in Buffalo on July 15th, I think it was. So on September 10th, you're going to be right down the thruway in Rochester. This time you're going to be with Marianas Trench. How did that come about?
That was kind of completely random for us. Our booking agent, Jordan Berger at Madison House, he's the guy that's been setting up a lot of this stuff for us. We've never had any contact with him until this tour, so we're pretty excited to meet him, and you know.
I've heard they
hit the
put on a
road.
good show.
Yeah,
so that'll be
they're
cool.
huge. They're like a huge Canadian rock band. I mean, so
Absolutely.
so really, I've been listening to a few of their songs, and I'm pretty excited, man. So
All right. So what's next for you guys?
next is gonna be a lot of touring, man. We're about to be on the road all of September, like we were talking about with Marianas Trench.
Good part of
Shortly,
October, November.
yeah, shortly after that, we're doing a few days, like 10 days with the Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, wow.
And then the school. Can
Yeah,
we say that?
I don't know if we can say this right now, but we have another band that we're going out with after the Goo Goo Dolls, and so just a lot of touring, man. Trying to finish out the year.
A bunch of
we started-
Christmas shows.
yeah, a bunch of
We've got-
Christmas
we've got-
radio
we've got-
shows.
Don't we have some in New York?
We're doing a
Upstate New York?
Brooklyn show. Doing
The
couple
Christmas
Colorado
shows,
shows.
yeah, but we can't announce them yet.
Oh,
a lot
right.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Just shows, really.
Stuff we can't talk about.
Trying to
yeah,
finish
yeah.
off the year, man. Like we had Novocaine came out, and the video is doing really well, and we're just trying to ride the wave right now, man. You know.
Oh, absolutely. So one of the things I like to ask is, other than your own music, what are you guys listening to these days?
Oh, dude.
A lot of random stuff. Everybody's so all over the place.
I've been listening to this band called The Garden.
The Garden.
Yeah.
What's your top band right now?
I just love White Reaper.
White Reaper.
I've been jamming that a lot too lately.
Still been listening to the new Cage the Elephant album.
He's older.
All right. So last question. What do you guys do? What are you guys doing when you're not recording, writing, touring? What are you doing to relax?
I play video
Video
games a lot.
games,
Play
yeah.
video games.
I
Kyle's
work.
into gardening.
Not in gardening.
He feeds
I like-
cows.
I read somewhat.
I just try to wake up all
What do I
day.
do? I ride
Just trying to
around.
wake up every day.
I don't know, yeah. Hang out with my cats. Ride a motorcycle.
I mean, I think it's safe to say we're all very like avid, like TV and movie watchers.
Yeah,
I'm not
Movies
sure.
for sure.
I'm not sure that makes us special from anybody generation, but we all definitely are like so up to date on anything that hits Netflix or any of the streaming services that, like, you know.
A lot of time in the van to watch TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So on that, what's got you guys' attention right now? What are you watching more?
New Mindhunter right now.
Yeah, the new Mindhunters.
Handmaid's Tale. Is
Oh,
what
that,
you
yeah.
guys-
I just
Did
finished
you start
that.
watching that?
My girlfriend
Oh,
watches
it's
it,
so
man.
good,
I
man.
just finished that one.
I've been watching this show called Fleabag. That's like pretty brilliant. I feel like it's some of the best like comedic
What is it
writing on
Amazon?
television. And
It's on
a
Amazon,
minute.
yeah. Amazon
Yeah,
Prime.
it's on Amazon Prime.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, I'm looking forward to the show on the 10th. I appreciate you taking some time to talk to me. And
Yeah, of course.
you know,
Absolutely.
let's hope that Buffalo and Rochester can come out and support you guys.
It'll be good,
Yeah,
man.
we'll see you out there, man.
Excited.
All right, sounds good, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Appreciate
Good
it.
one.